Hey, my name is Brent here on Cloudy of the Chance of Meeples, and today on the channel we are going to look at and compare Sagrada 2017 and the new remastered Sagrada edition. This is a game all about dice drafting and window crafting, and this is one of my favorite games of all time. Nicole, my wife, absolutely adores this game. It's her number 2, and so this is a game that's been played countless times over the years. And I will say, I remember back in around 2017 when I got this one. Nicole got it for me for Father's Day, and I remember seeing this art and looking at this game, and I was like, at that time I was like, this is one of the prettiest and nicest looking games that I have on my shelf. And now we have the remastered edition of this beloved game. And so I'm going to kind of show you what you can expect in this one and how it differs from the 2017 edition. So first, the boxes, I believe, are the same size. And so not much different there. I'll show the around on all of them. There is one difference, and that is this side is horizontally and this is vertically. So if you put it on your shelf this way, this won't line up. So I believe that is the only thing that's different from the boxes, art direction or graphic design. This shows kind of what's going on. This has bigger cards, but before I show you more of that, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. So let's put these down here, and we will look at what's inside these boxes. So open them up. Open this guy. And so you have the rules. The 2017 version got all the components. It's quite busy now that I look at kind of the new one and Rulebook since then. This one's quite busy. It's only kind of one pamphlet, whereas the new one, it's got kind of history of what you're going to be doing, or kind of the introduction to the game, which again, it has that here as well, but again, it's a little busy. This is a little bit more opened up, one might say. How to play, show scoring examples, and so yeah, they expanded the rule book per se in the remastered edition. And so let's get, things are a little bit jumbled up, but let's just start with these components and go through. So in the 2017, you have these favor tokens, and the remastered edition, they're the same. I believe they definitely are the same. And you know what? I'm going to go like this. So in the 2017, you have the little player scoring tokens. And in the remastered ones, you have little diced shape tokens. I'll give a close-up of these. So you just use these at the end of the game for counting up your score, which I will say, I've always said, oh, Sagrada needs like a scoring card or whatever. And I always forgot about the score track, and I virtually never used it. And since playing it again with this remastered edition or remastered version, I'm like, where have you been all my life? And so it's been there in the box the whole time. Let's talk about the dice. One of the things that is in this remastered edition is the coloring and the accessibility for people who struggle with colorblind issues. And so I'm colorblind, but I've never necessarily had a problem playing Sagrada, but I will say that the purples and the blues and the greens, when they're all in low lighting areas, sometimes it's like which color is which. And so we will look at these new ones in the remastered edition. So the bag is bigger. The font, obviously, it's got that different font. And so the original 2017, these are the dice. Let's get a couple green ones in there. So the same size. So those are those. But the new ones have kind of different colors. The blues are brighter. The purples, I would say, are more like true purple. So let's just get one of each of these from the 2017. Blue, purple, red, yellow. I say, there we go. So if you look at them side by side, you can see that there's definitely a color distinction. And then I'll do a close-up here. The blue, actually, as well as the red, they have little sparkle aspects to the dice. See if you can see them here. It's a little hard to see, but they are speckled, which will help with visually people who deal with colorblind issues. Reds are also the same. And so I really actually like these new the new color of the dice, because like the blue and the purple, to me, they don't really blend in at all. Like I can see them quite different. Whereas these side by side right now, they both look virtually the same color to me. And I also like the green, they're brighter. And so that will help with issues that the others may have had playing Sagrada. We'll put those away. We'll get into the player boards. Something that I always loved about Sagrada. So each player gets one of these player boards. They're dual layer. So I would say they're about the same thickness each. But the new ones are a little bit shorter. And the new ones have depth. So as you can see, these are cut out. And so it gives this like just amazing feel to the boards. So these are the green ones. And then you got the blue. Then you got the purple. And then finally the red. So when I originally got this edition in 2017, I was like, this is unbelievably like pretty, and like just the look of it was just so vibrant and eye-catching. And now these new boards, it's like, wow, this art by Quancha Moria is just amazing. It's a little bit muted, but it just looks classic, like really elevated in that regard. You got the score round markers from 2017 and the remastered. I love how it starts at the beginning, there's nothing going on, and then as the rounds go, they just start being filled in. And so really, really nice round tracking board. And then this is what I was mentioning. You have your score markers at the end. You just add up this goal, that goal. Oh, I got 14 points from this. Oh, so on and so forth. This is way less busy than this one. And maybe that's why I never did actually use this all that much. This is much more clean and pleasing to the eye. Let's just say that. Okay, we're going to get into the cards, because the cards in this remastered edition are bigger. So first we are going to start with the goal cards. So in the new one, remastered, they are all like tarot size cards. And in the 2017 edition, they are just standard playing cards. And so they both show the score. This is a little easier to see. Each set of all 6 values. And this is sets of 1 of each value everywhere or anywhere. I think this terminology is a little bit easier to understand. It also says each die only counts for 1 set. And so we'll just go through some of these. I really like just the graphic design of the top. It just, I don't know. It just looks like stained glass with that light like shining through. Couple more here. Column color variety. Row shade variety. I love it how it says cannot have empty spaces, because sometimes you may have, I just recently played a game, I had no repeated values in a row, but I was missing a die. That does not count. You cannot have any empty spaces. And then those are that. I'll do a close-up of the new ones here. Let's look at the tools, the way to help you build out the most beautiful stained glass window. So these are the backs. I like this one because I love like the pencil drawing and kind of the blueprints. This kind of does the same thing with the pencil drawing and stuff, but you know, half dozen of one, 6 of the other. But it's got, you know, vibrant imaging. It's kind of more cleaned up, more straightforward. Maybe explains on some of them a little bit, like this one, used on your second turn. Oh, no, not this one. A different one. It says take a second turn instead of your next turn, or skip your next turn. So they've cleaned up some of the terminology and some of the symbology. I like the pencil aspect of this. I will say that. And so they both work well. This might be just you know, a personal preference of what graphic design one likes more than the other. This is the major rule change in the remastered edition. So in the 2017 edition, if you got one of your private objectives of shades of purple, and it's the sum of all those purple dice. And sometimes you play a game and, you know, I'm going for purple and they're, you know, 1s and 2s rolling, and, you know, Nicole is going for greens and there's 3s and 5s, or, you know, higher numbers. So she's obviously going to get more points in that regard. And so they did a balancing, a change on this, and every one of your private objectives, you just score 3 points for each one of that color. So it's not the sum of your purple, it's just 3 points for each purple die anywhere in your window. And I think this is a great, just a fantastic change, because like I said, sometimes you are just not getting high valued numbers of your private objective, and to make them all worth 3 points, I think is a great balancing move. And so that's kind of the biggest change in this remastered edition. Obviously the look of it is changed, but this is the gameplay change. And as you see, the sparkles on these blue and the red, we'll get to that right away, because the pattern cards reflect that as well. So the pattern cards, oh yes, there's also the winner card to tag on social media and whatnot. But these are the pattern cards. You got, you know, the reds and the blues. They show the sparkles here to help with accessibility for those that struggle with colorblind issues in life. These are also, you know, the ones, they don't have the little pattern, or maybe they do, but it's a little bit, again, muted in the background. Purples, you can tell a difference here. This more looks like Grimace purple, and this looks more like a true purple. This is probably the most noticeable. Let's see this. The green's a little bit brighter, and the purple's a little bit darker and less magenta-y. Go through these. So I will say this: if you don't own Sagrada, this is an absolutely like slam dunk. If you own Sagrada, much like myself right here, this is going to be a personal taste of which color scheme and which artwork you like better. There's not, like I said, there's not a big rule change except for this with the private objectives, and you can just do that. You can play with the new rules even if you have, you know, the 2017 edition of Sagrada, because this is a great rule change anyways, and so either edition of Sagrada, 2017 or remastered, is an absolute fantastic game. And so there you have it. The differences and the comparison between Sagrada from 2017 and Sagrada Remastered. Until next time, my name is Brent. Grab your umbrella. The forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.